Hi everyone, I now have horns. You have unlocked my second phase. So today I wanted to talk about some non-boss enemies, other creatures, quest lines and items. Have you ever wondered why the pumpkin heads go bonk bonk? Well, it's all to do with this very heavy and very hard helm that they wear on their head. But who are they underneath this pumpkin? Well, according to the spirit ashes of the mad pumpkin, this mad soldier is all that is left of a broken gladiator. Now what I find interesting to consider is, was the mad pumpkin mad before the pumpkin, or did the pumpkin make them mad? What I mean by that is, was the helmet used as a preventative measure, or was it the cause? He stifled his panic within the dark confines of his helmet. He rampages as if driven mad when agitated by bloodshed or the humming of insects. So it might be possible that this helmet was constructed in order to create the perfect killing machine, blind and trapped in darkness, listening and lashing out at the slightest of sounds. I actually wanted to test this out myself by approaching a pumpkin head to see how close I could get before they detected me, just to see if they are in fact completely blind. So I did manage to get pretty close, probably closer than the average enemy's vision detection, but he did pick up on me, possibly because my armor does make noise in this game. That being said, it's most likely that his other senses are heightened from being in complete darkness for so long. And then he began doing the head bash, which, now knowing this information, actually makes me quite sad that he's more angry at the helmet he's wearing rather than me, his enemy. He's trying to get it off of his head, but he can't. So next time you see a pumpkin guy, please be nice to them. You may have met this charming young lady by the name of Hyetta.
My eyesight has been weak since birth, you see. I can't tell which way I'm supposed to go next. But when I eat one of those grapes, I can feel a distant light in the back of my eyes. It will lead me to my true duty as a finger maiden.
Her eyesight is weak and she asks you to please spare her a Shibiri grape. You know, it's got a shriveled surface, yet it's juicy and squishy on the inside. Just like a grape. You have been feeding her human eyeballs. Now, to be honest, I didn't pick up on this for a while until I actually looked at what the image of the grape looks like. And you actually have the option to tell her the truth about what she has been consuming. Please tell her. Now knowing this information about the truth of these grapes, it makes what Hyetta has previously said a lot darker.
You're not like the others who give me grapes, are you? They rest their trembling hands upon me. Howling wordlessly, they gently stroke my eyes. Their frail fingers, emaciated. Yet still, they give me the grapes.
These individuals had been clawing out their own eyeballs in order to give them to this aspiring maiden. Hyetta claims she feels this shining light in the back of her eyes after she eats the grapes. I believe this shining light is foreshadowing. Hyetta is an important character linked to the Frenzied Flame ending, so if you don't want any spoilers, please go to the next section. This light is the fire that will eventually consume you and her if you choose to go down this path. So why are they called Shibriri's grapes? Who is Shibiri? Well, after looking up this name, Shibiri is actually the Jewish god of blindness. And we will eventually meet this character in-game. Sort of. He appears to be this being who can possess other people's bodies, possibly an outer god. After learning of this, if you try and attack Shibiri, he will say, Shibiri is
chaos incarnate. I cannot die. May chaos.
So it indicates that Shibiri is not necessarily a person but a greater construct, which is why consuming these grapes can be considered the bad ending, because the chaos will eventually consume you and consume everything, just like Shibiri wants. You know these cute little fellas? Their headpiece is probably one of the best aesthetic fits in this game, but unfortunately it also reduces your HP recovery, and there's a reason for this. So these guys are called the Albinaurics, who are essentially an experiment, and they're specifically the second generation. The first generation is surprisingly humanoid looking. We meet one of these first generation Albinaurics called Albus. Now the word Albinauric translates literally to white gold, or the way I see it, silver, which might explain why Albus has this very pale, translucent appearance. He seems pretty unwell, coughing and mentioning that his legs will soon fail him. This is an important detail as we meet another first generation Albinauric called Latenna. She is also unable to walk, having to be assisted by her wolf Lobo. If you follow her questline, you will soon meet a giant Albinauric female who is also unable to walk. This shows that many things went wrong with this first generation. They were a failed experiment. They were all doomed to be short-lived and have many ailments like their non-functional legs, which explains why the second generation are able to walk, or cartwheel around. But why were they made in the first place? So we can get quite a lot of backstory from the shield that these second generation Albinaurics carry. Apparently they were created from a primordial drop of dew, and their most formidable enemy were sorcerers after all. The after all is in reference to how this shield has very good magic damage negation, and it also implies the sorcerers were the reason for their torment. If we study this clot which drops from the Albinaurics, we can see they literally bleed silver, and they were life forms made by human hands. This homunculus was created, but for what reason? This was a tragedy that had befallen this race of living beings, and I really want to hear your thoughts on why this has happened, why they were created and who is responsible, because as it stands I can't really figure this out. I really also want to hear your recommendations for what else you'd like me to cover. I've been blown away by all of the support, honestly. I'm sorry if I couldn't reply to everyone's comment, but I do read everything you have to say and I'm just so grateful. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.